Greetings all, Shane Bruce, Restomod Daisy with a hail and farewell to a project that's finally done. Hallelujah, praise Jesus, and is getting ready to go back to the owner. Let's start at the buttstock, and we'll do a nice slow roll up to the front of the receiver and on down to the muzzle. It's got a super nice curly maple, modified fat bob. This is the first one of these I've done this particular way. It's got more rake here on the cheek piece than previous pieces I've done. Wood turned out pretty well, fits really well, mounts really well. Let's roll up the receiver and take a look at this. Now, this is a Daisy Golden Eagle. You'll notice it's got an odd color paint on it, not really standard for Daisy. You'll also notice that these screws look new because I made them look that way. They were kind of chewed up and ratty, as you will probably remember from the previous video we'd done. But a little work with a hand file, and you can get a standard slot screw looking pretty sharp. All right, let's roll on down toward the roll stamp so we can show the folks all the good data here. Try to pick that up. That's really hard to see, but it should say got a reg number and got a build sheet. And over here you'll see the decal that says, or the paint job, right there where my thumb's at, where it says Eagle. But we'll look at that again when we flip the gun over. All right, it's got a what I call a Muzzle style forearm on it. It's kind of fat, gives you something to hang on to, and it's one of the forearms that has a set hook up underneath the barrel shroud, so you have to build the forearm, install a pin, and then push it forward before you set the screw to lock it in place. Let's go down to the muzzle and take a look at that. Once again, the paint is pretty good, and you'll see that there's not a whole lot of dings, dents, scratches, just a few. I'd rate this gun 95% easily. All right, let's flip her over and take a look at the other side. And then it's a repeat, of course, of the front side, but you get to see some more of the contour of the wood. Once again, we have the Golden Eagle and the bright hardware, which is unusual in a Daisy. And now, let's take a look at the original stock set. This is what the gun came with. These Daisy stocks are problematic. Check that, grab a tight shot of that little medallion. That's kind of interesting because it says Eagle, Daisy air rifle. Fun, I like that, put fun on it, that's neat. They were great looking stocks. I mean, you got to admit the lines on them are fabulous, but there were some issues with the plastic. Over time, they tended to form and degrade. And this one is in really good nick. But as you can see, the material they used to make the stocks with gave them a lot of flexibility in terms of color and swirls and figure. You know, I mean, it's unusual to see a tan stock with a green highlight and then a dark chocolate brown highlight. Nice looking wood. Now, here was the problem with most of these Daisies. Yeah, isn't that nice? Most of these Daisies, the forearms, because of the plastic shrinkage issue, the forearm would shrink. And this little catch here is designed to hook into a metal tab on the bottom of the barrel shroud, which is located underneath this pin. Well, what happens is, as they shrink and collapse, it moves out. Not very far, but enough to where the front end flops off. You'll see this all the time, especially on the Golden Eagles and other guns that have this plastic forearm. Well, I managed to get this one fixed. We were only out, take a look at this hole. Now that is not a perfectly round hole. You'll notice that it's cheated to the backside. Oh God, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. It didn't take a whole lot of hand filing, but once I got it filed out to where the tab would engage, all I had to do was build a wooden block that would limit the travel and block serve as a block on the mounting screw. So now, if the owner decides to do so, he can dismount this really attractive curly maple stock and put this plastic stock back on, if he wants to. Why he would want to, I have no idea. The gun's running good, averaging around 284, 289. Gets another 500 rounds to it. It may sneak up to 500 feet a second. Hopefully, the owner will be happy. Well, kids, that's all we've got for you today. Once again, it's a hail and farewell to a Daisy Golden Eagle. This is Shane Bruce, Restomod Daisy, signing off.